People closest to the top performers see an increase of 15% in their own performance. People closest to the worst performers see a 30% decrease in their own performance. I saw this stat while scrolling on YouTube Shorts the other day, and I went back into my life to see if this was even true. But I remembered every time I sat by the kid in class that got an A, I got an A or really, really close. And every time I was trying to conquer the sales leaderboard, I remember working next to this literal demigod, actually, the talk of the town on the Las Vegas Strip, a 25-year-old Jewish kid with a 6K Rolex he used to give off the vibe that he was high status, but it was actually mostly to help sell cheap Chinese products for a 2,000% markup to really rich clients. Because what rich client's not gonna buy when you have a Rolex on, right? But look, I'll tell you this, if I hear you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with one more fucking time, I was gonna go nuts, okay? Because being next to a top performer increases your performance by 15%. That's simple enough. Being next to a worst performer decreases your performance by 30%. Simple enough. And holy shit, that's insane. So look, one day, a long time ago, back in 2017, while I was back in college at UNLV in Las Vegas, I wrote something in my journal, and funnily enough, it was the exact life that I live right now. Let me read you what I wrote September 10th of 2017. Okay, I said, my biggest dream that I will achieve, and I'm gonna be making enough money to live in a loft in the heart of New York City and have a great job and a shit ton of great, smart friends. I want to meet people that I will love. September 10th, 2017 at 5:58 p.m. with a little less than, I have to go finish some online assignments. So right now, I just got a nifty little studio on 42nd Street, Midtown West in the heart of Manhattan, and we're talking 5 minutes away from Times Square. You know, I don't have a great job, semi-failing SaaS founder that sort of found some success while under a lot of debt, that's sort of kind of paying itself off and possibly could fully pay itself off soon. Anyways, I have a shit ton of great and smart friends, and I met a ton of people that I love. And 7 years later, it happened. But it actually took only 2 years for my life to change. Now, the reason that you guys clicked on this video is, why would I move into a place that I can't afford? Well, it's pretty simple. People closest to the top performer see an increase of 15% in their own performance. People closest to the worst performer see a 30% decrease in their own performance. And if you know anything about New York City, it's that there are the top of the top of the top performers in this motherfucking city. The creme de la creme, the cream of the crop, the elite few, the top dogs, the apex. New York City is quite literally where all the top performers are casually walking around not realizing they're top performers because everyone else is a top performer, and the apex of the top performers is actually in a Central Park penthouse who lived in Connecticut and went to Yale and dropped out because he started a cybersecurity SaaS for B2B CRM management companies, and he sold his startup at 29 years old to private equity for $152 million. You get it. Okay, and he probably walks around the Equinox I'm working out at, but I don't even know him, and little do I know he gets picked up by his personal driver Luis and driven to his $32 million penthouse with like 91 model girls waiting for him. Crazy view of Central Park from the south side. Okay, we don't want to be in the north in Harlem. But you know, I can't complain because I still have Godfrey casually working out on the same floor as me on an 8 p.m., you know, at Equinox Sports Club, and A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, that supposedly goes to my gym, but I never see him. But even if I did, I never know because I don't watch baseball. But anyways, I moved to Manhattan because it's pretty simple. Right? And I'm paying for rent that I can't afford because it's pretty simple. People closest to the top performers see an increase of 15% in their own performance, and people closest to the worst performers see a 30% decrease in their own performance. Now, I don't know where you live or who you are or where you are watching this video, but I urge you to ask yourself one question. Are you around top performers every single day? You know, I was the person a long time ago, you know, when we were kids and we were watching all these shows, I ferociously consumed YouTube and watched Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, and I wanted to be those people so bad when I was a kid. You know, watching Victorious and The Sweet Life on Deck and Sweet iCarly and Wizards of Waverly Place and every single possible show that you watched, okay? And I wanted to be a star, an actor, a person that knew people that were known for doing creative things. And I always thought I was very far from the dreams I wanted to achieve, but I got closer and closer, and when you start moving, shit started happening. And I decided to escape to a concentrated area where dreams live, because here, dreams never die. So I hope you're next to your top performers. Well, if you're not, good luck.